The next topic is Faraday's law of electrolysis. Now let us consider the Faraday's first law. Hope you would have learned this Faraday's first law and second law under physics. Anyway, this is something very important. The mass of the substance liberated at the electrodes is directly proportional to the quantity of charge passing through the cell. The mass of the substance. How much of substance is liberated? The mass of the substance when liberated at the electrodes. The mass of the substance liberated at the electrodes. Where it is liberated? Liberated at the electrodes. When it is liberated? During electrolysis. During electrolysis, the mass of the substance liberated at the electrodes during electrolysis is directly proportional to the quantity of charge quantity of charge passing through them. What do you mean by this, students? Quantity of charge passed through the cell. Q. Quantity of charge is directly proportional to the quantity of charge passed through the cell. The mass of the substance liberated at the electrodes is directly proportional to the quantity of charge passed through the cell. See, so some amount of the substance is deposited at the electrode. So the mass of the substance deposited at this electrode, it is directly proportional to the quantity of charge. That is, what would be the charge that is passed through them? So therefore, depending upon the quantity of the charge that is passed through the cell, the mass of the substance liberated would depend. So the mass of the substance liberated at the electrodes during electrolysis is directly proportional to the quantity of charge passing through the cell. So we all very well know that charge is related to the current. How is charge related to the current? I is equal to Q by T. Current I is equal to Q by T. So current I is equal to charge by T. So thereby Q is equal to small t here. Sorry. So thereby Q is equal to IT. So can I write M is directly proportional to IT? I is time in seconds. So M is directly proportional to IT. Or let me remove this proportionality sign and introduce a constant called as Z. Z is called as electrochemical equivalent. What is it called, students? Z is called as electrochemical equivalent. Now suppose if 1 ampere current is passed through this is Armstrong, sorry. 1 ampere current is passed through the cell for 1 second, then can I say that M is equal to Z? When M becomes equal to Z? Here, when 1 ampere current is passed through the cell for 1 second, in such a case, this equation becomes, let me take this as first equation, let me take this as second equation. The second equation becomes M is equal to Z. So thus the electrochemical equivalent, what is Z, students? Z is nothing but the electrochemical equivalent. How would you define Z? Z, the electrochemical equivalent, is defined as the amount of substance deposited or liberated at the electrode when 1 ampere current is passed through it for 1 second. When 1 ampere current is passed through it for 1 second, or I could say that Q is equal to 1 coulomb. What is that 1 coulomb, students? When 1 ampere current is passed through it for 1 second, you call it as 1 coulomb. So when 1 coulomb of electricity is passed through it, then the electrochemical equivalent Z becomes equal to the mass of the substance liberated at the electrode. Okay, fine. Now let us go to Faraday's second law. So Faraday's first law, the mass of the substance liberated at the electrodes is directly proportional to the quantity of charge passed through the electrolyte. Now here coming to Faraday's second law. So in this case, when same quantity of electricity is passed through the solutions of different electrolytes. That is, when same quantity of the charge is passed. See, when same quantity of electricity, charge or electricity is passed through the solutions of different electrolytes, what would happen? The amount of the substance liberated at these electrodes are directly proportional to their electrochemical equivalent. Let me write it and then explain it to you with this example. See, when same quantity of charge is passed through the different electrolytes, the amount of substance liberated at these electrodes are directly proportional to their electrochemical equivalents. Now let us consider the three electrolytic cells. They are connected in series to the same DC, direct current supply, to the same DC electrical source, as I have given you in the diagram. Now, but the electrolyte is different. But all the three electrolytic cells are connected in series next to each other, to the same DC source. Okay, to the same DC. So now each cell is filled with different electrolyte. Here it is filled with copper sulfate, nickel sulfate and cobalt sulfate. Now what is the quantity of charge passed through it? Let me take nickel sulfate, then copper sulfate and cobalt sulfate. So let me take Q coulomb charge is passed through the electrolyte. Q coulomb charge is passed through the electrolytic cells. So the mass of the nickel deposited over here, the mass of copper deposited and mass of cobalt deposited at these electrodes, at the respective electrodes, let it be M of Ni or M of Cu and M of Co. Okay. Now, according to Faraday's second law, what has been told is the mass of the substance deposited is directly proportional to their electrochemical equivalent of Ni. So the mass of copper deposited is directly proportional to their, what is electrochemical equivalent? Just now we saw in first law it was Z, isn't it? So Z of Cu, mass of cobalt is directly proportional to Z of cobalt. Or in other words, I could also write this as M of mass of nickel by electrochemical equivalent of nickel when this goes to the other side. Okay. So thereby M of Cu by Z of Cu, which is equal to M of Co by Z of Co. Okay. So just now we came to know that what is meant by electrochemical equivalent. So when 1 ampere current is passed through the electrode for 1 second, then the mass of the substance deposited would be equal to the electrochemical equivalent. So that is nothing but I could also say that electrochemical equivalent is defined as the amount of substance deposited or liberated at the electrode by a charge of 1 coulomb. So I into T, Q is nothing but I into T. So instead of I into T, I just write it as coulomb, 1 coulomb. When 1 ampere current is passed through it for 1 second, it is nothing but equivalent to 1 coulomb. You should know that 1 Faraday is equal to 96495 coulombs. I would explain this to you again. 1 Faraday is equal to 96500 or 96495 coulombs. Okay, thus Faraday's first law and second law has been explained. This is very, very important. This is an example that has been given in order to let you know, and this is the definition. So definitely definition has to be written. If it is coming out for a 5-mark question, you have to explain this with an example.